What's all the PMS with Coach G? It's positively motivating sisters with purpose, meaning, style. Are you ready for positive conversations inspiring you to your next level? Do you need motivation to get you growing? Are you a sister, woman, leader, boss, mom, wife, female, her, she? I think you know what I mean. Are you seeking purpose in your life? Do you know the meaning for which you stand? Do you know your style is your unique authenticator? If you answered yes to any one of these questions, this podcast is designed with you in mind, which embodies the whole you mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, and spiritually. Sisters, we are on a journey in connecting you from where you are to your what's next with purpose, meaning, style, and it all starts with you. Hi, this is Coach G, your Chief PMS cheerleader, motivating and empowering you to win in your personal and professional life, your connector, guiding you and bridging the gap from where you are to your what's next. I am your leadership and growth coach strategist, empowerment speaker, best-selling author, mom, wife, Christian, and I get to serve you in doing what I am passionate about. You, sisters, we are on a journey for you living your life on purpose, for purpose, with purpose, meaning, style. Thank you so much as you continue to support this show, listening, sharing, following, commenting, and liking this podcast carries weight. Let me remind you, you can continue to support this show with a monetary contribution as we continue to consistently show up and empowering you and other women on their personal and professional growth journey through education, inspiration, and elevation. Go to the show description, touch the link, support the show, and that speaks volume in saying you stand in support of blessing this podcast as we continue to grow through the conversations we have in here in this space. Well, I'm going to start with this. We are in episode 110, and we are talking about pardon the mess. So, yes, if you see that brief video clip that I tend to share with my email community, just as well as on social media, the background is different. So, I want you to pardon the mess. We want to talk about that, which means sometimes that means that we come to places in our life and in our business that we have to make some changes, maybe go under construction, new construction, but whatever it is, there's a change and transformation that happens. So, with that being said, if you have been listening into the podcast and listening to prior episodes, I have shared changes that were about to happen with the podcast. So, have you ever been in a place of business that you saw that sign, pardon our mess? You are bearing witness and you are experiencing that business mess. Why are you there? Because you are looking for a service or a product that you desire. And in turn, that business still exists and wants to continue to service its clients and its customers. The business is not allowing whatever the new construction or remodels affect their business operations. No, they're not. What I'm saying is, although this is our last episode, until new construction takes place, G Style Coaching is still here to provide personal and professional development services to you, your team, or your business. Yes, you heard me. This is our last episode because we are going to take some changes. Some changes are happening. And I thank you so much as you continue on this journey with us. Now, we're not going away. No, it's just like coming into that place of business. Okay, some things are still happening, but maybe, when you go into that space, I know that I've been there, that I walked in. It's like, okay, you can't go over here in that section because there's some remodeling happening. Or maybe it's the fact that they're getting ready to make room and expand some space so they can better serve their clients and their customers. Well, that's what this is. Although this podcast has been here, What's All the PMS? It's time for some new construction. It's time for some restructuring. And so, as we continue on this journey together, I want us to continue to stay connected So if you have not subscribed to my email list, please do so. Go to the show description, touch that link to subscribe. You know what? Or go to the website directly, G Style Coaching. You can do that /subscribe and put in your information so you can continue on this journey. But we're going to take what I'm saying a summer break for this new construction. And so we'll return September 9th with a new version of a podcast show. But in the interim, I want to be able to talk to you. I want to be able to connect with you. I want to be able to hear maybe some topics of conversations that you want to hear more of. Well, I will give you one hint. It won't be what's all the PMS. I will say that. So it'll still be here, me coming with those conversations and still inviting other women to empower you on your journey. That doesn't change because we are all about women empowerment, or you know what? Empowering your team. So, as I've shared over the course of some of our last few episodes, as I said, into this sisterhood community, I want us to continue to stay connected. So, please make sure you go and subscribe. Make sure you do that. Make sure so you can stay updated. You can continue to receive that communication. And again, go to the show description or go directly to the website because I want you to continue to just connect with the communication. And I love to connect with our sisterhood community. That means you can continue to hear whatever updates are happening, or as we go on this journey, things that are happening. Maybe it's short, quick videos that I share, whatever that is. I want you to be a part of that. So please do that. Please take time. You can pause the podcast right now, go to the website because I don't know how you're listening. Or you know what? Go to that show description and go ahead and subscribe today. Go ahead and do it. So, I have an acronym for MESS because we're talking about pardon the mess. Because maybe you're in that part of transition. Maybe it's not in your business. Maybe it's your career. Maybe it's in your personal life. But whatever you're undergoing, whatever changes or transformation, or maybe building a new business, maybe you're needing to restructure some things, even in your life. So these points are growth tips that I love to share. We can't go out of this without some growth tips. Of course, I'm not just going to come here and talk about, okay, pardon the mess. We're making some changes. This is the last episode, but we're coming back at you with a newer version of a podcast. Okay. Okay, great. Love y'all. No, we're not going to do it that way, but I do want to share some growth tips with you. I will re-emphasize this or emphasize this. Go back, listen to all the prior episodes. Maybe you'll see a topic or title and you say, "Oh, I want to listen to that." Or, you know what? Just start over to episode 1 and just hear our growth as we journeyed along on this journey. You have 110 episodes that you can listen to as we take this break from this day until September 9th. You can mark your calendar. Okay, Coach G's coming back September 9th. It's not going to be what's all the PMS, but again, I want you to be a part of that email list. So make sure you go and subscribe, please. I keep saying that because I really want you to make sure that you stay connected with us in this community. So I said I'm going to talk about some growth tips, right? And so we're going to talk about growth tips in this mess, MESS. But can we make a commitment to stick together? So, what do I mean? We have so many outlets to stay connected and powered up together, whether it's through social media. Go ahead, connect with me on Facebook and Instagram or YouTube, and that's at Coach G Style. Or maybe you're on LinkedIn at Coach G Neal. And that is all in the show description. But even better, again, email. Yes, I know I've said it. You probably are saying, well, you've already said it like 3 or 4 times. Well, you know what? I'm going to say it again. because that repetition, you keep hearing it. And maybe I'm saying it right at the time that you're saying, okay, I'm going to pause now and I'm going to do it and make sure that I do it right now. So subscribe and, or just send me an email because you may want to talk about again future topics that you want to hear. I just want to hear from you. Let me know where you are on your journey. Just send me some love or share the love. And you can go to info@gstylecoaching.com just to send a message. Or I even have something even better. You can join our Queens Court Society Community School of Growth. But the thing is that you have options. You have multiple options for growth opportunities. Maybe you heed to all of them because you want to make sure that you don't miss a beat or don't want to, allow that gap in between because there are so many growth opportunities from now until we return in September 9th. Or maybe you're just looking for that one-on-one signature coaching, very intimate one-on-one. Maybe it's group coaching. Again, maybe it's just coming in for that leadership and growth development for your team and your organization. All of those opportunities and growth opportunities that we can work together. And I'm saying this all at the beginning because I want to make sure maybe you've listened to the podcast episode, you never listened to the final end. Well, I want to catch you at the beginning. What did I say? Pardon the mess, but it's good mess, okay? So I want to start with this. I'm currently reading a new book by Sarah Jakes Roberts called Power Moves. And it has been already significant in my growth internally and spiritually. But there was a part in the book that resonated at the current state of our topic of conversation about mess. Okay, we're talking about pardon the mess. She talked about that she had to see beyond what she thought about messy insides and to dare to believe that where she sees mess, God sees material. That's substance. As we get into this conversation about mess, we must realize even in the midst of the mess, there is something working for good, serving a greater purpose. So as we turn the page, I'm going to say turn the page. This is not the end of the book. We're turning a page to a new chapter in providing a new podcast show coming to you September 9th. And I believe it will speak with greater purpose. So, what may look like a mess is producing a masterpiece. So, let's go ahead and can we dive into this mess of a conversation? When you are facing new construction or remodeling or reconstruction or transition, transformation, you get to allow, I'm going to say these four things because, again, we're using the acronym MESS, right? So, it's going to be four growth tips. And in your mess, you make room for growth. Just like we're talking about this space now. And even if you're listening in this particular space, we are all about growth. But honestly, let's be honest, growth can be ugly, messy, and beautiful, and all these other things. The process can be uncomfortable, even in a disarray, but through it can be a beautiful masterpiece. I talked about in episode 27, go back and listen to it. I talked about some aspects of growth, and I want to key on that in this conversation as we talk about making room for growth through that, as we talk about pardon the mess. And so, as I shared in episode 27, go back and listen to the full episode. I talked about that part of growth. There's this acronym again. Give yourself grace. Rise above the challenges. Open yourself to change. Welcome your why more than your what if. Okay, there's even an episode we talk about knowing your why. Take the time to nurture what you need to grow and have a vision. Growth. Those are those growth opportunities. That's that part in the mess. You're making room for that growth because you're choosing to give yourself that grace that, oh, even though, again, I'm sure if you've ever walked into a place of business where they were going through the transformation, but they still wanted to continue to service their customers, you see the mess happening. But they're still providing a service to you. Yes, they could have chosen, we're going to totally shut down and hey, we're going under construction for this time. But they're saying, no, we choose to continue to serve in this arena while this happened. And for whatever reasons, business make those different decisions for whatever reasons that they are. But in the midst of that, as a customer, you walk into that place and you see that mess. It doesn't stop you to get that service because you want it, because you came there for it, right? And so that's that part of that growth that we make room, that you take time to, even though you walked into that space, that business, what are they doing? They're making room to expand, whether that's expanding to better service clients, provide more room for clients. This can be you in your business, making room for growth, whether it's a remodeling in your home. Think about it. You may have done some remodeling. That's making room for growth. Or maybe you're building a team to service more clients, to allow you to be more of what you do in your business and not be all in it that you can't even be creatively working in your business. But think about it. The mess is allowing you to make room for your growth. And then that other one is expect changes. Can we agree nothing stays the same? With growth, changes are necessary and pivotal in your personal and professional growth. If we think about it, think about the seasons. Seasons require change. Summer cannot be winter. Winter cannot be spring. Spring cannot be fall. Each has their own characteristics, behaviors, and experiences. I know you said, wait a minute, you're talking about winter, but think about those things of your life through this mess. You get the time to experiment with what changes may be necessary for you to step into your next. And sometimes when we do that, yes, sometimes when you do that, it's a public view. People see it publicly because now you have to state the fact, oh, we're going under construction. Oh, okay, we now have new construction. But whatever that is, those are those changes that are necessary and that are required. So, again, I want to talk about when I talk about those changes, man, you can go back to episode 10 when I talked about changes ahead, because often, those changes, sometimes they're expected, unexpected, or planned, but they're necessary sometimes for us to move to the next level of growth, to move higher, to take that next step, to expand, to grow. And often, think about it, we would rather not take part in the mess. We would rather say, okay, can I clean it up first? Or does it really have to happen this way? Can it just transfer over without all of those things happening? But reconstructing, restructuring, remodeling, and transitioning all requires some form of change. The question to ask yourself is, what changes are pivotal for my next move or goal or promotion? Answer that question. Maybe that means taking some things off your laundry list of wants versus needs. What is needed in this season of new construction or restructuring versus what you want? You may discover you need to implement a new system to streamline your processes. Or speaking in your life, you may need to reorganize your priority list. It could just be that plain and simple. It could be that plain and simple, but I know sometimes we just don't know how to sort through those things. Then you can ask yourself, how does my current processes or what I have on my priority list, how does this serve my life? Or if it's in the business aspect, how does this serve my business? How does the current processes that I'm actively involved in or that I actually have integrated in my business, how is that serving in my business or how is it serving my life? And then you have to see the end in mind. That's the S. Well, we have two S's, right? But that's the first S. See the end in mind. See your mess as a masterpiece of art. There's a process in that, right? There's a step by step process. And you know what? It takes time. If you think about someone that create that masterpiece or that art piece, it wasn't just in one stroke. It took many strokes and colors. They had to see an image. And so that and as much as it takes time, it also takes work in making the changes in that reconstruction towards that end goal in mind. What do you see as that end goal? And so you can begin the process by asking yourself, what are you looking to achieve in this next move? What do you envision? How does it feel? What does it look like? What resources or people are needed to help? All those are questions that you can ask as you, pardon the mess, moving into that next. Because your journey is not made to do it alone. Yes, we can say, oh, okay, I'm all out here by myself. But through this mess, you get to see the opportunities, the purpose in it, even to the fact of what is the solution? What are the results? All of that, when you talk about seeing that end in mind, yes, we talk about the vision, but what is your blueprint? Have you created that blueprint? I think about a quote that Les Brown stated. He said, when you have a vision for your life, it becomes the blueprint for your future. And so that blueprint is your roadmap, a compass. It helps you serve or it helps to serve as a guide or plan to help you navigate through aspects of your life and business through the mess. It helps you provide a clear direction, giving you clarity to help you establish what those goals are, or maybe identify those potential obstacles that happen. That's that can go into what's the mess that can happen through this. But of course, we're gaining a different perspective with mess, right? And you get to outline those strategies and actually achieve those goals because you know what? A vision without a compass is not knowing how to move through the mess. You can you can have this vision, but you haven't even wrote out a plan or you haven't even set a goal to put something in action. And so now when things or you encounter things, just as even in the part of going under construction or a new construction or restructuring, you get to now with that blueprint, ask yourself, going back to those questions, asking yourself those questions. What does this look like as you achieve that next move? What do you envision? How does it feel? What does it look like? What resources or people are needed? Because that help is needed as you navigate from one to the next. And then that last one is surrender to your next move. Yeah, we have to learn how to do that. Even as we navigate through life, through business, in our careers, whenever we do that, what I love about this space is we seek those growth opportunities, whether it's personal or professional in your career or business. Because through the mess, we get to take the next step, whether it feels uncomfortable, whether it looks impossible, but we choose to be open to what is bigger, bolder, and better. Which means when you surrender to that next move, as I say, pardon the mess, as I'll make it personal as I surrender to the next move in business, in how I serve you as a community, I have to trust the process. You have to trust the process. You have to trust the process, or we get to trust the process of what is bigger than our fears, bolder than our imagination. In other words, what we can ask or think, and better for the changes needed to serve our clients, in our community, in our own lives. Knowing the mess doesn't stop where we are because it is only a step higher than where we began. Yes, that mess, it may be things everywhere. Think about when you see a new construction or a new build. There's the wood pieces, there's dirt, that comes through. And I mean, that could be a new construction of a home. But just think about that. What is that you are now transitioning to, or what moves are you making? So as you do that, know that as you work through the mess, you are allowing yourself to grow. So I want you to say this: pardon my mess as I make room for growth, expect changes, see the end in mind, and surrender to my next move. So as we say that, and as we come to a close, we have in that interim until September 9th. Maybe now you make room for growth because you say, okay, man, this is the first time I listened to this podcast episode, or this is the first time I listened to an episode, or man, I need to go back and listen to other episodes. Yeah, I encourage you to do that. But go back and listen to all those archived episodes, starting from 1 to 109 to 110, because this is 110. Listen to it again. Maybe you need to be reminded as you transition from one step to the next, as you move into that next goal. Do that. Make that commitment. Make sure you go and subscribe to the email. So I used to love watching Carol Burnett. And so, okay, that may tell my age. I don't care. But I used to love watching that growing up. And she would say at the end of the show,
I'm so glad we had this time together, just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long.
I'm so glad we had this time together. I am so grateful we had this time from episode 1 to episode 110. No, this is not the end. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say that over and over. This is not the end, but a mess to a new chapter in better serving this community. So, in the meantime, what do I ask you to do? Share the love. Make sure you subscribe to the email list so you can stay connected on this journey. We can stay connected on this journey together. Maybe you can share your story. As we sort and place and build and define and expand and grow in this mess, guess what? We get to do this together. So, yes, when we come back to new podcasts, new episodes, we still have guests we will invite on to come to the table. Like we said, we're having conversations, right? And I'm so grateful that you listen and that you have listened, that you continue to listen. Because in the interim between now and September 9th, listen to those other episodes. But know that G Style Coaching will continue to serve you, providing value through one-on-one signature coaching. We're still here. We're just like that business. You walk in, they're saying, pardon the mess. They have some construction going on over here, but they're still here to service you. Well, I'm still here to serve as your coach, to serve as your cheerleader and your advocate and your connector, helping you connect from where you are to your what's next. Maybe that's group coaching for you. Maybe that's leadership and growth development for your team or your organization. But I want to make sure that maybe it's just you need to join our community where we are intentional about our growth with Queen's Court Society School of Growth. Because you know what? If you want to go fast, do it alone. If you want to go far, do it together. And I know that we want to continue to grow together, to go to new levels, to go higher. And I'm so grateful that we can do it together. So I encourage you, go to the show description, touch the link, contact, or touch the link, Queen's Court Society School of Growth. You have so many growth opportunities that we can work together. We can win together. Or just go to the website, gstylecoaching.com. And you know what? Just take time and look and see how we can add value where you are on your journey. And as much as this is so hard to kind of close this episode, it really is, because from now until September 9th, you know what? We will continue to do what is going to be best for this community as I continue to grow in every area of my life, just as well as you, because that's what we choose to do. We choose to grow personally and professionally. But then when we look at those, all those aspects of who the makeup of us, that's spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, socially, financially, all those areas of your life that we want to continue to grow. But you know what? That growth starts with you. So again, the doors are open to Queen's Court Society School of Growth. The door is open to one-on-one signature coaching, group coaching, team coaching. But let's develop strategies, and let's work through that mess together as you continue to achieve those higher levels of success in your life and business. But I'm so glad we had this time together. And until next time, September 9th. But you know what? That's just the podcast. I'm still going to be communicating to you. Go to subscribe to the email list, go to the website. And you know what? Continue to share the love. Share the love with other sisters. And I look forward to hearing what you have to say. Send a message. Share your voice because your voice matters. And continue to share. Continue to just connect and support and subscribe and follow still. And I want to say thank you. Thank you so much as you have listened. Again, if it's your first time, if it's your 110th time, if it's your ninth time, whatever number that is, I am so grateful that you have shared in this growth journey with me and that we continue on this growth journey together. So until next time, sisters, let's keep growing because it all starts with you. Okay, I'll see you next time.